Hello guys, welcome to our today's class. We're going to discuss on the mathematical calculation of break-even point. And here we have a question which reads, compute the break-even point in shillings and in units for the total product and also for product A and B. We have been given the details as the sales at the prices given, contribution, and the total fixed point. Now our first step, we have two products here and the question requires us to compute the break-even point for the single products and for the total product. We'll start by calculating the sales mix of each product. Okay, here we'll calculate the sales mix in shillings and in units. We'll start by calculating the break-even point, the sales mix in units. You have product A, product B, and the total. Our sales in unit for product A amounted to 120,000 and for B amounted to 40,000. This gives us a total of 160,000. For us to get our sales mix, we will divide this amount with the total and this with the total also. So it's 120,000, you divide it by 160,000. Also the 40,000 divided by 160,000. The first one gives us 0.75 and the second one gives us 0.25. This sales mix should amount to 1. If you add 0.75 to 0.25, this gives us a total of 1. This is the sales mix in units of each product. In shillings, we were given the sales at 5 shillings and at 10 shillings. For product A, it was 600,000 and for B, it was 400,000. The total amounted to 1 million. Our sales mix is acquired by dividing these values with the total. That's 600,000 divided by 1 million and 400,000 divided by 1 million. And this gives us 0.6, the other one gives us 0.4. Their total amounts to 1. Up to here, we have calculated the sales mix for each product. That's in units and in shillings. Now the other step, we will calculate the break-even point for the general product. That's the break-even point for the total product. And the formula for this is the total fixed cost you divide it by the sales mix of A multiplied by the contribution of A. Close the bracket. You add it to the sales mix of B multiplied by the contribution of B. From here, we can see from the question, our total fixed cost was 300,000. You divide it with the sales mix of A, that's 0.75, that's in units, times the contribution was given in the question, that's 1 for A and 7 for B, times 1, then you add 0.25 multiplied by 7. And this gives us a total of 120 units. This is the break-even point of the general product in units. From there, we will calculate the break-even point for each product. Let's start for A. The formula for the break-even point for single product is the sales mix of that product you multiply it by the break-even point of the total product. For our case, for product A, the sales mix is 0.75 multiplied by the 120 units. That's the break-even point of the general product. This gives us 90,000 units. That's the break-even point of A in units. For B, the formula is the same. The sales mix of B, that's 0.25 multiplied by the 120,000 units. And this gives us a total of 30,000 units. After getting the break-even point for the two products in units, now we'll calculate the break-even point of each product in shillings. In this case, for A, we'll take the units amount and we'll multiply by the sales value given in the question. That's 5 for A and 10 for B. And this gives us a total of 450 shillings. 450,000 shillings. And for B, it will be 30,000 units times 10 shillings. This gives us a total of 300,000 shillings. That's how you calculate the break-even point of each product. The second part of the question reads, assume that the company proposes to change the sales mix to the ratio 1:1 in units. Advise the company on whether this change is desirable. In this case, that's part 2 of the question. In this case, we will divide the total amount to equal ratios among the products. That's for A, B, and the total. For A, it was 120,000 units. For B, it was 40,000 units. This gives us a total of 160,000 units. We'll divide the 160 units by 2. This gives us 80 and 80. And this equals to a ratio of 1:1. After there, we will take our total fixed cost, that's 300,000. We divide it by this ratio 1:1, that's 0.5 for each product, multiplied by the contribution. The contribution didn't change. Then you add 0.5 for B, multiplied by 7. This gives us 75,000 units, and on the advice to the company, the change is desirable since it takes fewer units to the break-even point. That's how you'll deal with the break-even point mathematically. See you in the next class.